Welcome. In this session, we will learn how an inductor discharges. Let's start. Now, to learn this discharging concept of an inductor, what we are going to assume? We are going to assume that inductor has some initial current stored in it. Now, how do we do that? We say that the inductor and a resistor is initially connected to a source, suppose a battery. So this was initially connected to this source. And what we are going to assume now, we are going to disconnect it from this position. Suppose this is position 1 and connect it to the position 2. So this is the RL network. And what we assume that inductor was initially charged, means I of t, which flows in the network, is equal to some constant value, means the initial voltage current in the inductor at t equal to 0 is I know. And at this time, at t equal to 0, we're going to disconnect it from this position 1 and connect it to the position 2. So how will the circuit look like when we disconnect it? So the circuit looks like this. So the equivalent circuit can be drawn like this. So we say this is R, this is L, and when we connect it to this is position 2, then this is the source. V of S, and this is the inductor current. All right. Now, what we can do, we can neglect this part because this has no contribution in I of t, and we can remove this part. So because after we connect it to the position 2, then V of S branch has no part in this I of t. All right. So what's the assumption? That this RL network was initially connected to the source voltage V of S, and the initial value of the current, means the current at t equal to 0. When we disconnected this from position 1 and connect at position 2, the value of the current stored in the inductor is I know. That's the important thing. All right, and let's see what will be the behavior of this when we connect it at position 2, and this will give us the discharging behavior. Let's learn about that. So first, to obtain the behavior of this I of t, what we do, we write the KVL of this. So if we write the KVL, apply KVL, this will be simply R I of t plus L dit by dt. This is the drop across this resistor. This is the drop across this inductor. All right. And this is equal to 0. All right. Now what we can do, we can write it like this: di of t plus L by R. Sorry, R by L. This will be R by L. I of t is equal to 0. Now, if we compare again this equation with this equation, is equal to Q, then we learn here if Y is same as I of t, then T is equal to R by L and Q is equal to 0 for this expression. So again, this becomes a linear differential equation. And how do we solve this linear differential equation? By using the concept of integrating factor. So what's the integrating factor for this linear differential equation? It is e to the power of integral p dt, and here it will be e to the power of p equal to R by L dt. So this will be simply e to the power of R by L t, because R by L is a constant. Integration of dt will be t. Multiplying both sides of this expression by this, what we get e to the power of R by L t dit by dt plus R by L e to the power of R by L t I of t is equal to 0. Now we can write the left-hand side of this expression as, write it d by dt. Now, and this will be 0. Why? Because there is 0 on this. When we multiply 0 by e to the power of this, it will be equal to 0. So left hand side we can write as e to the power of r by l t I of t dt is equal to 0. How? Because using the concept of product rule of differentiation, we'll get the first term will be as such that differentiation of it, then differentiation of this and I of t will be as such. Differentiation of this is r by l e to the power of r by lt. So integrating both sides, what we'll get? Integrating both sides, get d by dt of e to the power of r by lt I of t dt is equal to integration of 0 plus some constant of integration. All right. So dt cancels with dt, d cancels with integration. What we are left with? E to the power of r by l t I of t is equal to k. Now what do we need to do? We need I of t. So dividing both sides by this e to the power of r by lt, we get e to the power of r by lt. So that means I of t is equal to k e to the power of r by lt. Now we need to determine the value of k. What's k here? Now k can be determined by substituting t equal to 0. We get e to the power of 0, that is equal to k. All right, now what's I of 0? I of 0, we have assumed it's equal to some value of the current that's equal to I naught. So this will be equal to k. Substituting this back here, we get I of t is equal to I naught e to the power of, sorry, this is minus. So after you divide both sides by this is minus. So it will be minus r by l. So this is the inductor current that flows when we change the position of the inductor, sorry, switch from position 1 to position 2. And what we assumed here in this circuit, that initial inductor current is I naught. And when we connect it to the position 2, the circuit looks like this. And the current that flows there looks like this. All right. Now, if we plot this current, versus time, so what we obtain, so this is our I of t, this is t, the current. So the initial current we assume is I naught. So as you can see the behavior, it looks like this. The current goes down like this. At t equal to infinity, this term is equal to 0. So the current will be equal to 0. So this is the behavior of the inductor current which flows. And this gives us the discharging concept of this inductor. So we assumed that initially the inductor was charged to some current value, this, and as we disconnect it from the source, the inductor current drops like this. Now, how fast it will drop, how fast will be this rate? It is decided by R and L. Remember, we'll learn that in the next class in the concept of time constants. All right, let me end this session here.